Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas to everybody, and welcome to the Defense Politics Asia. Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 2004 for the 24th of December, and Merry Christmas to all of you. Seldom show my face on the SITREP, but yeah, so just want to wish everyone. I believe everyone should be in Christmas by now, so Merry Christmas to everyone. And so I'm going to disappear for now. Disappear. Oh, I haven't disappeared. Wrong button. So before I go into the map, I want to just show this one. I wanted to show this yesterday, but I forgot about it. So this is actually the temperature map from MSN weather. So I know the border is a bit unclear over here. As you can see, the border, this is Ukraine. So you can see the weather. No, it's not really at freezing. It's at 1 degrees to 4 degrees Celsius. So this is actually not exactly cold enough to allow snow to accumulate on the ground. And even at Luhansk is 1 degrees. We're going further up north. It's only around the northern part when you go to Belarus where you can actually get the snow. And in Russia, northern Russia, you got in Moscow, you get the snow. That's where we have all the training videos coming out from Russia or Belarus, where they're training in the snow. So in Ukraine, we are currently not exactly in snowy weather yet. The winter haven't really hit the location yet. There are some parts are really cold, 0 degrees, so there's some snow there, but the weather generally is just not yet at the snowing yet. So yeah, so the Ukrainians are not going to get their winter offensive just yet, or the Russians, depending on who you believe. At both sides say they are going to have their winter offensive. Winter is going to benefit them. Like both sides say the same thing. So anyway, if we move forward the weather, you can see that the weather continues to be rather warm for winter degrees until Wednesday, and it's only after when we reach into Thursday that's when the degrees start to drop into the minus territory. -2, -1 on Thursday, and the weather goes back up to 5-6 degrees, 4 degrees. So it's not really going to be like how we imagine it to be, where they are going to be fighting in the snow, like in World War II, Russia versus Finland kind of situation. It looks pretty not warm but also not so cold kind of weather. Just something to take note of. I thought that would be interesting. So coming back to the map, so for those that have finally transited over to DPA War Channel, welcome to the DPA War Channel. This is where all the summary and SITREP will be focused on. And moving to the southern front, we have nothing significant to report, neither at Zaporizhia line. There could be one of the possibilities, because it's Christmas period. Many of the OSIN people or the analysts or the sources went to celebrate their Christmas, and maybe at the battlefront, they are less likely want to go into the offensive during the festive season. And moving to the Donetsk front, so we are now here in Donetsk region. In the Donetsk region, yesterday we reported the Russian Defense Ministry's yesterday's report. So Russian reports come at 12 noon, and because they come at 12 noon, sometimes their report actually merges what happened in the morning together with what happened the day before. So yesterday, because the report came out very late, because I tried to cover 3 days of stuff, it took me so long that the report from the Russian side, the yesterday's report appeared. So I also included it in, so which is why you will see some of the replicating information that I have reported yesterday. But it's still the summary for yesterday, for the 24th, the Christmas Eve. So I'm just going to repeat them. So there's shelling reported at Vodian. So usually this is actually very confusing because there's another Vodian just here. So sometimes it can get very confusing where the Vodian they are talking about, but the shelling is actually at Vodian here. So that Vodian is pretty important because this is now the hub to the front line where the Ukrainians are holding. So which is why having accumulation of troops or reinforcement coming to Vodian is actually pretty understandable. Because they can no longer go to Voleda as their hub, because this is literally the front line already. And the Wargonzo reported that the Russians tried another attempt to attack Novomikhailivka. This is only reported only by Wargonzo. Both defense ministry did not mention. And over at Marinka, there's fighting reported at Marinka. According to the Ukrainian defense ministry, the front line currently we have the contradictions or conflict of reports, because Sanya, Florida, according to his private source, mentioned that the Russians have already pushed all the way to this point. However, reading Ryba's report, the pro-Russian source Ryba, they are still mentioning that the fighting is still primarily towards the center, with the Russians moving along the Shataska street, moving forward along this street here. And however, the center seems to be pretty much in Russian control, as they are doing clearing operations around the center. So there might be some truth to this, not sure. We will still need more time to corroborate Sanya's report on this situation over Marinka. Tentatively, most reports are saying that the fighting is still in the center of Marinka. So moving further up north, there is a reported fighting at Krasnohorivka, with Sukhoi 25 shot down over Krasnohorivka. Sukhoi 25 is a ground support aircraft, and usually the Ukrainian or even the Russian Sukhoi 25 get shot down very close to the front line, which is pretty normal, because they when they attack, they are taking a very big risk, and any small little mistakes means they go into surface to air missile range, or they actually accidentally go into the Russian or the enemy territory or enemy airspace. So that's pretty normal. Before we go to the Pisky region, as per we have reported yesterday, Mi-24 was shot down, got shot down over Selidove or Selidov, depending on whether you want to pronounce this in the English way. And at Komishivka, there's a Sukhoi 27 getting shot down. If I'm not wrong, Sukhoi 27 is also a ground attack aircraft, but they are not a close air support. They are like a bit more standoff-ish. This is just my my very limited understanding. I haven't really read a lot into it. Over there at the Pisky region, according to exclusively Wargonzo, they reported fighting at Nevelske, Tvervomaysky, Vodian, and there is fighting reported at Jevene, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. The word they use in the Ukrainian Defense Ministry is Sevenoye, which is actually seems to differs a lot from Jevene. So if any of you guys think that this is wrong, Sevenoye is actually a different place, please do let me know in whatever way you can contact me to double confirm if this is correct. I think it's correct because I cannot really find another Sevenoye or Sevenoye around the front line. The closest is actually Jevene. So that's the situation. The Ukrainians have done pretty well to actually hold the Russians back. There isn't really a lot of progress around this region. Moving to the New York region, we have no updates or information other than there's a shot down of a Mi-8 over Pivnishny. In Russian, they call it Kirovo. This location is called Kirovo, but it's actually Pivnishny according to the Ukrainian renaming. And further away from the New York region, there's a Mi-8 getting shot down over Hruzke or Gruzke or Gruzkoye, depending on which version, how you want to pronounce it. So this is actually pretty far away. So This is a way further away at 50 kilometers. So this shot down is a bit interesting if you ask me, because it's not exactly easy for a fighter jet to shoot down a helicopter because of how slow a helicopter is flying. And so anyway, moving to the Bakhmut front. At the Bakhmut front, there is fighting reported near Kyryomivka, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, and there is fighting reported at Klishchiivka as well. The Ukrainians launched a counteroffensive over at Opine or Opitine. Anyway, the Ukrainians actually pushed the Russians back and managed to capture a few small streets. This is according to SITREP maps. They have a more detailed mapping of exactly how it looks like. So I have updated the front line to resembles a bit more towards his mapping. SITREP maps also reported some progress for the Russians over the southeastern part of Bakhmut, where they are now at the outskirts of the urban area at southeast Bakhmut. Fighting is continuing to be reported at Bakhmut itself by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. They do not go into details, but SITREP maps map it in this way. So this is more or less, his is actually round here. So otherwise, the Russians still have a foothold in these two streets of Fedora Masimenka as well as Kotsiubin Koho. Oh my god. So there's a airstrike reported at Bakhmut on the 23rd. I think I missed out. I did not report this yesterday. So just to highlight about this. There is no more information of any fighting in the north, because this information comes usually from Raiba, and half the time is actually from Raiba, and Raiba is kind of in holiday mode. There is actually not a lot of posts from Raiba these 2 days. So no, maybe lesser intel. At Soledar region, fighting continued to be reported at Bakhmutske as well as at Soledar itself, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. And there is fighting near Yakovlivka in the direction of Soledar. So Vasily reported fighting by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, and there is fighting reported near Rozdolivka. Yesterday I reported this based on information from the Russian Defense Ministry, and today's Boris Rozin, a pro-Russian source, reported a bit more information, saying that the Russian military or the forces destroyed a large consolidation of foreign mercenaries in the area of Rozdolivka. So they call this foreign mercenaries Nazi. So no, don't know, but they did claim that 4 armored personnel carriers and 3 pickups were destroyed. 60. So 60 militants is considered a large consolidation of groups. So that's actually a bit of a cognitive dissonance for me, because when we always imagine war or battles, large actually, we're talking about hundreds to thousands. So anyway, moving on to the rest of the Sivers front. So we are now at the Sivers, at the very most eastern part of the eastern front. There is fighting reported at Bilohorivka, according to War Gonzo. And for those that missed out the report yesterday, the Ukrainians have pontoon operations over at Serebryanka and Dronivka. This information is likely to be belated. These pontoon operations or the pontoons that has been established is likely to have been there for at least a month already. It's only just reported by Raiba because of the fighting over at the Serebryansky forestry, which is this entire area. This entire forest is actually a forest plantation, if you like. And the Ukrainians have been attacking in this region or fighting in this region for some time, which actually suggests that they do have some kind of crossing around Serebryanka region. If not, it is quite inconvenient for the Ukrainians to actually progress all the way to this point from Toske or Yampil region. So definitely there is some kind of crossing that has been established here for quite some time already. Moving to the Kreminna front, as per yesterday reported, Russian Defense Ministry reported airstrike and artillery on Ukrainian forces over at Toske and Terny. This kind of airstrike usually to the Russians, they will explain it as the preventive. They attack a cluster of Ukrainian troops to prevent them from going on an offensive. The Russians also tried to push back over at Chervonopolivka. According to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, they are fighting around this region here. It's not at the town. It's actually, you know, on the outskirts, probably around the forested region around here. Further up north at Ploschanka, there is also fighting reported around here by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, and that's all from the Kreminna front. And moving further up to the Sviatove front, fighting is reported at near Stemakivka actually. So the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, as usual, they reported the Russians are trying to capture Stemakivka. They are fighting in the direction of Stemakivka. However, Suryat maps contradicts the information coming from the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, and they said that the Ukrainian forces actually made some advance east of Stemakivka towards Kolomyshcha. So they're actually pushing Kolomyshcha, whereas the Ukrainian Defense Ministry say that they are the one on the defensive. So, you know, some contradiction in terms of the reports, which is also why we have two different maps. This is a the pro-Russian kind of perspective, and this is actually a pro-Ukrainian kind of perspective. It's actually two different maps. This is actually not one map. This is actually two maps. In case you are new, over at west of Kuzimivka, fighting continues to be reported at Novoselivsky, with the Ukrainian Defense Ministry mentioned that they are on the defensive around here, and shelling is reported at Krokmalny, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. They reportedly shelled some Ukrainian mechanized brigade in this region. Krokmalny. Yeah, Krokmalny. So moving to the Kupiansk front. At the Kupiansk front, there's shelling reported at Petropavlivka. Similar situation. This is the same report as per the one at Kreminna or Kreminna. And over at the further up north from Petropavlivka, north of Sinkivka. Previously, we have not mapped Liman Pershy as under either side, because we totally have never heard of any report about Liman Pershy. And because this is very near to the front line, previously close to Vyshana, we have no idea who is actually in control of Liman Pershy. But with the latest information by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, they mentioned that the Russians are actually attacking Liman Pershy, which then lead us to just conclude that Liman Pershy is actually under Ukrainian control, which logically speaking makes a lot of sense, because the Russians are unlikely to want to stay within this settlement or this beautiful I'm not sure if this is a farming village, but yeah, this it looks very pretty beautiful in the middle of forest. But because you're in the middle of the forest, you can actually be ambushed from all sides. So it's not a defendable position, which is why I don't expect the Russians to be here. So that makes sense. And especially in around 1-2 months ago, the Ukrainians have been attacking towards Vyshana, south of Horobivka, as well as around Sinkivka region. They are attacking from a pincer movement against the Russian forces at Vyshana. So with this action, Liman Pershy is also most likely to be under Ukrainian control. So it's just that only today, this is the first time we see the name Liman Pershy to be named in any reports. So Russians are attacking here. So this is a continuation of the Russian push around, slow push. It's not really a very major push, but slow push around this region, putting pressure on the Ukrainians to reinforce this region around the Voreshna region. And previously we have seen fighting close to Tavilzanka, at the outskirts of Voreshny. Around a week ago, the Russians also attacked Hrianivkivka or Grianivkivka. Also, this location was also got raided in a way. So it's not a major push yet. It seems to be mostly a probing attack by the Russian side. So that's all from the Kupiansk front. And is there anything else that I missed? I think that's all. So Merry Christmas to everyone. Please press the subscribe button. This is the DPA War channel. All the war reporting will now be consolidated here. The main channel will go a bit more towards geopolitics and of course news. It can be still about the war, but it's just not the front line and not the fighting reporting. Maybe something relating to the war. We can actually report over on the main channel. So thank you for watching. Please press the subscribe button, press the like button so that you can actually force the algorithm to share this to new viewers that has never seen DPA's reporting before. That's what the like button will do. And I'll see you in the next update. And there will be an open mic later tonight for me, the middle of the night for me. Maybe it's a day for you or morning for you. It could be afternoon for you. I'm not sure, depend on where you are. I haven't decided on which time to do it because many people are celebrating Christmas. Many people sleep late. I'm not sure what is the best time to do it. So anyway, I'll just see you around and I'll see you in the next update.